Ever wondered which countries have policies or societal norms that make it challenging for Muslims to visit or live there? Despite the growing global Muslim population, some nations have created environments that are far from welcoming. In today's video, we'll uncover the top 10 countries where Muslims face significant challenges in 2024. Stay tuned until the end to discover the surprising reasons behind these exclusions and how they affect the Muslim community worldwide. Before diving into the list, it's essential to understand why some countries have policies or social climates that are unwelcoming to Muslims. Factors include political tensions, security concerns, and historical conflicts. We'll provide context for each country's situation. Country 1. Myanmar. Myanmar has long been plagued by ethnic and religious strife, particularly involving its Muslim Rohingya population. The Rohingya, a minority group in the predominantly Buddhist country, have faced extreme persecution, including violence, displacement, and denial of citizenship. The government's stance and policies have created an environment where Muslims face severe discrimination and danger. Living conditions for Muslims in Myanmar are dire, with many confined to refugee camps under harsh conditions. International organizations have repeatedly condemned the treatment of Muslims here, but little has changed. For Muslims, whether residents or travelers, Myanmar poses significant risks and challenges, making it one of the least welcoming countries for Muslims in 2024. Country 2. China. China's treatment of its Uyghur Muslim population in Xinjiang has attracted global condemnation. The government has implemented extensive surveillance, re-education camps, and restrictions on religious practices, claiming these measures are necessary for national security. However, these actions have severely restricted the religious and cultural freedoms of Muslims in the region. For Muslims in China, the daily reality includes constant monitoring, restrictions on their religious practices, and the threat of detention. These oppressive conditions make it incredibly difficult for Muslims to live freely and safely. The situation in China highlights the severe challenges Muslims face in places where their religion is seen as a threat by the state. Country 3. Central African Republic. The Central African Republic has been torn apart by sectarian violence, with significant clashes between Christian and Muslim communities. The conflict has led to widespread violence against Muslims, resulting in mass displacement and a dire humanitarian situation. Muslims often find themselves targeted and without adequate protection from the government. In this volatile environment, Muslims in the Central African Republic live in constant fear for their safety. The lack of security and ongoing violence make it an incredibly challenging place for Muslims. International efforts to bring peace have made some progress, but the country remains one of the most dangerous places for Muslims in 2024. Country 4. Bhutan. Bhutan, known for its serene landscapes and Buddhist culture, has strict policies regarding religious practices and immigration. While the country promotes its unique cultural identity, this often means restrictions for religious minorities, including Muslims. Practicing Islam openly can be challenging due to societal pressures and legal limitations. Muslims in Bhutan may find it hard to gather for prayers or celebrate religious festivals openly. The lack of infrastructure, such as mosques, further complicates their religious practice. Despite Bhutan's peaceful reputation, these restrictions create a less welcoming environment for Muslims. Country 5. Greece. Greece has experienced a rise in nationalist sentiments, significantly affecting its Muslim population. This surge in nationalism has led to numerous incidents of mosque vandalism and harassment, creating a hostile environment for Muslims. Additionally, bureaucratic obstacles have made it challenging for Muslims to build new places of worship, further complicating their ability to practice their faith openly. These issues are deeply rooted in political rhetoric and prevailing societal attitudes that often view Muslims with suspicion and intolerance. For Muslims living in or visiting Greece, these challenges pose significant difficulties in their daily lives. The legal hurdles they face in establishing religious institutions, coupled with social discrimination, create an unwelcoming atmosphere. Muslims frequently encounter obstacles that impede their ability to practice their religion freely, from securing permits for mosques to facing prejudice in their communities. These barriers highlight the broader issue of religious intolerance that pervades Greek society. Despite Greece's rich history and stunning landscapes, these problems detract from its image as a hospitable destination. The country's beauty and cultural heritage are overshadowed by the difficulties Muslims face due to nationalist sentiments and discriminatory practices. The persistent issues of intolerance and prejudice make it hard for Muslims to feel accepted and safe, painting a troubling picture of Greece's treatment of its Muslim population in 2024. Country 6. Angola. Angola has implemented strict regulations on religious practices, significantly affecting its Muslim community. Reports have surfaced about the government demolishing mosques and denying legal recognition to Muslim organizations. These actions reflect a broader policy of religious control and suppression. Muslims in Angola face significant difficulties in practicing their faith openly. The lack of legal recognition and the threat of mosque demolitions create an environment of fear and uncertainty. This restrictive atmosphere makes Angola one of the challenging places for Muslims in 2024. Country 7. Slovakia. Slovakia has a very small Muslim population and has expressed reluctance to accommodate Muslim refugees. The government and segments of society have shown resistance to the integration of Muslims, leading to a climate of hostility and discrimination. Muslims in Slovakia often face social exclusion and legal challenges when trying to establish religious institutions. The general atmosphere in the country can make it hard for Muslims to feel accepted and safe. These conditions highlight the broader issues of intolerance that Muslims face in Slovakia. Country 8. Latvia. Latvia's resistance to Muslim immigration has created an unwelcoming environment for Muslims. The country has very few mosques, and the infrastructure for practicing Islam is limited. This lack of support makes it difficult for Muslims to integrate and practice their religion freely. Muslims in Latvia may also encounter social resistance, adding to their challenges. The combination of limited religious infrastructure and societal attitudes creates a less hospitable environment for Muslims. Despite Latvia's beautiful landscapes and rich culture, these issues pose significant barriers for Muslim residents and visitors. Country 9. Hungary. Hungary's government has made its opposition to Muslim immigration abundantly clear, implementing stringent border controls and policies aimed at limiting the entry of Muslim refugees and migrants. This political stance is not just limited to policy, but has permeated the societal fabric, fostering an environment where Muslims often feel unwelcome and discriminated against. The consistent political rhetoric against Muslim immigration has created a climate of fear and exclusion, making it challenging for Muslims to integrate or feel accepted within Hungarian society. For Muslims living in Hungary, these political and societal attitudes translate into significant real-life challenges. Accessing community support can be particularly difficult, as many Muslim communities face legal and bureaucratic obstacles in organizing and establishing places of worship or community centers. Additionally, societal prejudice is a daily reality, with many Muslims encountering discrimination in various aspects of life, from employment opportunities to social interactions. This pervasive climate of intolerance and exclusion makes daily life for Muslims in Hungary fraught with difficulties. The Hungarian government policies and the resulting social climate create a particularly inhospitable environment for Muslims in 2024. The combination of stringent immigration controls, discriminatory policies, and widespread societal prejudice makes Hungary a challenging place for Muslims to live or visit. Despite its rich cultural history and picturesque landscapes, these issues overshadow Hungary's image, highlighting the significant obstacles faced by its Muslim population and reflecting a broader issue of religious intolerance within the country. Country 10. North Korea. North Korea is an isolated and authoritarian state where religious practices, including Islam, are heavily restricted. The government exerts tight control over religious expression, permitting only state-approved practices and harshly punishing any deviations. This environment makes it extremely difficult for Muslims and other religious groups to practice their faith freely and openly. For Muslims in North Korea, The situation is dire. They face extreme persecution and cannot openly practice their religion due to the state's oppressive regime. Any attempt to engage in religious activities outside of the state's strict guidelines is met with severe consequences, including imprisonment, torture, and even execution. This harsh treatment extends to all aspects of life, making it impossible for Muslims to observe their faith without fear of reprisal. The lack of religious freedom in North Korea stands as a stark reminder of the severe hardships faced by Muslims and other religious minorities under authoritarian rule. The oppressive policies of the regime create an environment of fear and suppression, where even the basic right to practice one's faith is denied. This situation underscores the broader issues of human rights abuses and the extreme measures taken by the North Korean government to maintain control over its population. In conclusion, while these countries present significant challenges for Muslims due to various political, social, and legal restrictions, it is crucial to continue advocating for tolerance, understanding, and human rights globally. If you found this information valuable, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. Also, feel free to leave a comment below with your thoughts and experiences, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest videos. Thank you for watching.